Chapter 1. The big Avon bucked and leaped as we entered the froth of white water. I clamped my knees around the thick rubber sausage roll of the starboard side and backstroked like mad to keep us pointing in a more or less downstream direction. The curling spume of live water threw us high into the air and down again with a slap and a splash that drenched the raft and everything and everyone in it with an icy flood that completely belied the sun heat of the day. Beside me at my left, Troy Peters let out a yelp of sheer joy as we rode up the next high-flying rise, and behind us I could hear Bobby Truelock cackling with laughter while he made like a rag doll at the end of the sweep that was, in theory, supposed to control our direction. In water this wildly grand, though, our best and most powerful efforts would have only a minimal effect on our fate. Strength and skill can help you only so much when you seek out the swirling peaks of the white water, which, I suppose, is one of the things that makes it so much fun. With a final shudder, the raft slid out of the buck-up and into the calm flow beyond. That was the best little stretch we had ridden all day, and Bobby and Troy and I were grinning from ear to ear as we wiped the water off our faces and tried to pretend we weren't freezing half to death. And, in truth, we didn't care that we were, because in another few minutes the shock of the cold water would be replaced by the heat of the sun, and the cooling effect of evaporation would be a welcome comfort. After that, we would be sweating again until we floated to another run of white water and would have the pleasure of doing it all over again. I gave Troy a thumbs up, and he unlatched the cooler lid to begin passing beers all around. At the port bow, in front of Troy, Jim Carlyle was a little pale in the face, but he was wearing one of those quiet little grins that is directed toward nobody but its owner, the sort that comes not from a mere appreciation of having survived the maelstrom, but from a dawning sense of, hey, that was fun. The kid had never bucked white water before, but he was already proving himself game and accepted our instructions with serious concentration etched on his thin face. He didn't just listen when we were in the calm, but remembered and tried to carry it all out when we were riding the froth, too. Well, he had been scared at first, but never to the point of forgetting his paddle and clinging to the grab line when we needed him. He kept his ears open no matter what kind of hell was going on around him, and when Troy hollered an order, he was in there, stroking. Not necessarily with skill, but with muscle and heart. That counted more than the skill as far as I was concerned, and I'd be glad to have him along again. The yahoo in front of me was another story. His name was George Howson, and Bobby had invited him to join us. He claimed he was a whitewater rafter from way back, and was outfitted like a Snake River kayak racer, complete with kapok vest and shiny blue helmet. All that proved, though, was that he could afford the stuff. If I had to guess, I would say that his previous whitewater experience had been on those Arkansas River tourist trips, and just once at that. Oh, I don't mean to knock those trips. Not at all. They're a barrel of fun. But small children and lively grandmothers enjoy them too, and I suspect that very few of those folks come away thinking that they're ready to turn pro. Howson could talk water real fine. He knew the jargon and the tech terms a whole hell of a lot better than I do, but then I don't study it. I just do it from time to time. And once we were off to theorizing and on the river, he was another brand of cat altogether. The Green isn't even a very tough river to run. Lots of greasy, calm flow with just enough stretches.